Osage artist. I just want you to know that I'm missing you and I miss doing art with you, but I hope everybody is well and healthy. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do art together at home. I have a lesson on a different printmaking technique. In order to do this lesson, you'll need a few things from home. You will need some markers, any kind of markers you have, a pencil, also a piece of aluminum foil. If you do not have aluminum foil, a Ziploc bag would work just fine. You will also need a piece of paper. I have a thicker piece of paper which would work best, but also a regular piece of computer paper is fine. And a spray bottle. If you do not have a spray bottle, a piece of paper towel with water would work. I'll show you how to do that later on. And a lot of times in art we outline our drawings with Sharpie. So a black Sharpie if you have one. If you don't have one, or mom and dad would prefer you not to use one, you could use a darker colored crayon, like a black, dark blue, dark purple. Any darker color to make your drawing stand out and be bold would work. So we're going to get started. You're going to follow along, and I hope you enjoy this lesson. So once you have gathered your supplies, we're ready to begin. I discussed earlier you will be making a different printmaking technique. This different printmaking technique you'll be making is called a monoprint. Mono meaning one kind of. It's very similar to using a stamp that will only work one time. A monoprint is, like I said, a form of printmaking that has lines or images or color that only be made once. So you're probably wondering what we will be making. So here's my example here. Here's the monoprint. We have a rainbow robot. The background with the color is where we'll be printing. So first you will be drawing your robot. If you're not sure how to draw a robot, we will go over those steps together. So for your paper for your drawing, I mentioned earlier, if you have a thicker piece of paper would work best, like a white construction piece of paper. But like I said, if you have any computer paper, that's fine too. What I did was I cut the white paper in half. If you're going to use a piece of computer paper, I would fold it in half and just leave it like this because you will be wetting it, so you don't want it to be super flimsy. So I would just leave it like that for now, or like I said, cut the paper in half. Okay, so we're going to get started on drawing your robot. I would start with your head. There are many different shapes you could use for a head. This is your robot. You're the artist, so you decide. But you could do a square head. You could do rectangle. You could even do a semicircle. You could do an oval head. Could be any shape. So start with your head. I'm going to start in pencil first. Let's see, maybe I'll switch it up. I'll do more of a rectangular head. And then you want to work on the face. So you could do circular eyes, square eyes. Again, this is your robot. I'm going to do circular eyes. I'm going to make it a female robot, so I'm going to give some eyelashes. After you finish the face, then you want to move down to the neck. And then after the neck, you want to do the body. So the body could be many different shapes. You could do, a long rectangle. Could even be circular body. Could be more square. Again, you decide. So let's see. And then once you have the body, you want to figure out the arms. How are the arms going to be positioned? And then you want to decorate the control panel. Are there any buttons on your robot here? So decorate however you want your control panel. And then the last step would be to add some legs. And then I would go ahead and decorate a little bit. I'm gonna add some lines here. An antenna coming out, or you could even give your robot hair if you like. Once you're happy with your robot, the next step would be to outline your robot. So I told you in the beginning you could either outline with Sharpie, or if you do not have a Sharpie, you could use a dark blue or purple. And you want to go right over top your pencil line. So I'm going to use Sharpie, but like I said, you can use a crayon. Okay, once you've outlined everything, like we do in art, clean your drawing up, erase your pencil lines. Next step, we're going to put the robot aside, and we're going to grab the aluminum foil. And I'm just going to kind of judge how big my paper is. I'm going to just trace the corners. Now here's where you're going to grab your markers. If you want to do a rainbow robot, you would grab all the colors of the rainbow, and we know that would be Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Don't really have an indigo color, so we'll skip indigo and go right to violet. You do not have to color your robot in with rainbow. It could be whatever colors you want to use. But I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how to use the colors of the rainbow. So once you have your markers, I'm going to start with red here. And I'm just going to quickly color. I'm going to go in stripes. You don't want to touch the foil because it's wet from the marker. And it's okay if it kind of starts to spread out a little bit. I'm going to do red here. Orange. Once your tin foil is covered with your marker, we're going to just put that aside, go back to your robot, and here's where you'll use your spray bottle. So you're just going to spray right on top of your robot. If you don't have a spray bottle, you can just grab a paper towel, wet it, and just blot it right on top. Make sure the whole thing is wet. You don't want it too wet. You don't want too many puddles. So this looks good. Now, here's where we're going to do our monoprint. I'm going to bring the aluminum foil back. And just like if this was a stamp, you're going to put this on top of your marker. So I'm trying to line it up there. Here we go. I'm going to press it down. And you're going to give your paper a little massage. Get all the corners. Get the middle. And you'll notice some of the marker is going to go through your paper, and that's okay. Give it a nice little massage. Okay, that looks good. And now I'm going to pick up my robot here. And there we go. Came out pretty cool. It's okay if some areas are white. Kind of makes your drawing more interesting. So here are my 2 rainbow robots that are finished. Okay. The neat thing about your monoprint is you could make another one. You could do another drawing. And all you have to do is just grab a paper towel and wipe off the marker. And you could do the whole thing again. You could try different colors. Doesn't have to be rainbow. But clean this off and it's like starting fresh. So I wanted to show you an example that has an outline of the crayon instead of Sharpie, and this looks just as great. Some of my 4th and 5th graders may not want to make a robot, and that's totally fine. I have an example here I did of a seascape. This monoprint also works best if you do a silhouette, objects that are all in black. I'm quickly going to demonstrate. Here I have another tree. In case you do not have a piece of aluminum foil, I told you in the beginning you could use a Ziploc bag. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate how to go about doing that. Again, you do not have to do rainbow colors. You could do use warm colors, which we know are red, orange, and yellow. I'm going to do opposite. I'm going to do the cool colors for the background of this tree silhouette. So that would be blue, green, and purple. So what I'm going to do is, instead of doing a stripe kind of pattern, I'm going to do a circular one. I'm going to start with my light blue, and I'm actually going to color it in a circle, like a fuzzy circle. Enjoyed this lesson. I will see you next week with something new. I would love to see how your monoprint came out. If you could send me a picture of your piece, I would love to see it. My email address will be at the bottom of the screen. But I would just like to say I hope everybody stays well and healthy. Keep coloring, drawing, and being creative. See you next week. Bye.